You were tired, the lights were off, the house was quiet. So why at 2:47 a.m. were you lying there awake again, not anxious, not stressed, just awake for no clear reason? If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining things. After 60, the body starts changing the way it handles rest, quietly, subtly, and frustratingly. You fall asleep, but you can't stay asleep, or you wake up feeling like you barely slept at all. And it's not about trying harder. You've already done that sleep tease, no screens, deep breathing. But here's something no one tells you: your body may not need more effort, it may just need better fuel. Science now shows that certain everyday vegetables, things already in your fridge, contain compounds that naturally support sleep, not by knocking you out, but by helping your brain, heart, and nervous system remember how to slow down at the right time in the right way. So instead of chasing sleep with another new product, what if tonight you simply fed your body what it's quietly been asking for? In this video, I'll walk you through 4 simple vegetables that can gently restore your sleep from the inside out. No hype, no hard sells, just real food, real impact, and real relief. Part 1. Beets help your brain breathe easier at night. You might think of beets as just a colorful side dish or something you tried once in a salad. But if you're over 60 and waking up at night, tossing, turning, or lying still with your eyes open, beets might be one of the most overlooked solutions sitting quietly in your fridge. Let's get straight to it. One of the biggest silent reasons people over 60 struggle with sleep isn't stress or even hormones, it's oxygen. More specifically, a subtle drop in blood flow to the brain at night. As we age, our circulation naturally weakens. Arteries stiffen, vessels narrow, and the blood that used to flow effortlessly now moves slower, especially when we're lying down and our heart rate drops. That means your brain, your body's command center, is getting less of what it needs to stay regulated and at rest during the night. And when blood flow drops, oxygen drops. And when oxygen drops, the brain reacts, often by waking you up. You might not feel panicked or wide awake. It may just be a quiet, persistent pattern, waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., feeling off but not knowing why. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's enough to pull you out of sleep and keep you from going back in. This is where beets come in, not as a trendy superfood, but as a practical, well-researched tool for better brain circulation. Beets are rich in natural nitrates. Once consumed, those nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. Wider vessels mean better flow. Better flow means more oxygen to your brain. Even when your body is still, your heart rate is low, and your nervous system is winding down. You might be thinking, that sounds nice, but does it actually help with sleep? Fair question. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients followed a group of older adults who drank beet juice every afternoon for 4 weeks. The results? On average, participants experienced a 17% increase in deep sleep duration. Not just longer sleep, but deeper, more restorative sleep. That's the kind of sleep that repairs tissue, clears toxins from the brain, and helps you wake up feeling clear, not groggy. Even more interesting, participants also reported fewer nighttime awakenings and improved mental clarity the next day. So how do you actually use beets in real life without feeling like you're on some health kick you didn't ask for? It's simple. The easiest way is to juice them fresh and drink the juice in the early afternoon, ideally before 5 p.m. You don't need a fancy machine. A basic blender and strainer will do. Add an apple or half an orange to balance the earthy flavor, and you've got a brain-friendly drink that supports circulation and gently sets the stage for better sleep. Not into juicing? No problem. Beets can be boiled, sliced, and added to a salad with greens, soft cheese, or avocado. You can also roast them and toss with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. If you enjoy warm dishes, try a light beet soup with lentils, carrots, and ginger. It's not just comforting, it's functional. Each of these options gives your body the same beneficial nitrates in a way that fits your lifestyle and preferences. Now, one small note: timing matters. You want to eat or drink beets before evening, ideally before 6 p.m. Why? Because beets contain natural sugars that, while mild, can cause alertness in sensitive individuals if consumed too close to bedtime. And remember, beets are not sleeping pills. They're not meant to knock you out. Their job is more subtle, to improve the internal conditions that allow sleep to happen naturally. They help your brain feel safe, oxygenated, and calm enough to stay asleep once you're already drifting off. And if you're someone who often feels tired but wired, Your eyes are heavy, but your mind won't shut off. That may be a sign of low oxygen and poor brain circulation. Supporting your brain with oxygen-rich blood, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime, can make a meaningful difference, not just in how long you sleep, but in how deeply you rest. The beauty of this is how simple it is. No need to overhaul your diet or start counting calories. Just one small change in the afternoon, a glass of beet juice, a beet salad, a warm beet soup, and over time your body starts to adjust. Your brain stops panicking at 2 a.m., your sleep becomes less fragmented, and you may begin to wake up on your own without an alarm, feeling rested for the first time in years. We're not promising miracles. We're offering something better, real support from real food, grounded in how your body actually works. And in a world full of loud promises and quick fixes, that kind of quiet solution might be exactly what your nights have been waiting for. Part 2. Kale helps your nerves relax naturally. Sometimes the problem isn't falling asleep, it's feeling calm enough to let go. You've had days like that, you turn off the lights, you lay down, you're physically tired, but something inside is still running like a motor that won't switch off. Maybe your heart feels jumpy, maybe your legs can't stop fidgeting, or maybe your thoughts won't stop flipping through old memories, to-do lists, or just nothing at all. You're not stressed exactly, but you're not at peace either. This is more common than people talk about, especially after 60. What's happening isn't just in your head, it's in your nervous system. As we age, our nerves become more reactive. The part of the body that's supposed to slow things down, the parasympathetic nervous system, doesn't always kick in the way it used to. That means your body stays in a subtle, low-grade state of alert, even when you're safe, still, and ready to rest. And here's where something as simple as kale can quietly step in and change everything. Kale is known as a superfood, and yes, it's packed with vitamins. But for older adults trying to sleep better, the real magic lies in two specific minerals, magnesium and calcium. These aren't just nutrients, they are messengers. They tell your heart to steady its rhythm, they tell your muscles to release tension, and they tell your nervous system, you're safe now. You can power down. Let's talk about magnesium first. Magnesium is one of the most powerful natural relaxants available to the human body. It helps regulate neurotransmitters, the chemicals that send messages between your brain and your body. When you don't get enough magnesium, those messages become erratic, muscles twitch, your heartbeat can feel irregular, you may feel anxious without knowing why, you may lie in bed and feel restless even though nothing is wrong. And unfortunately, studies show that magnesium levels tend to decrease with age, just as the nervous system becomes more sensitive. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Sleep Research found that older adults who increased their magnesium intake through food experienced a 28% improvement in deep sleep after just 6 weeks. That's not from supplements, that's from meals. And kale. Kale has almost twice as much magnesium as regular lettuce. It's also packed with calcium, another mineral that helps muscles relax and supports the production of melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. What makes kale special isn't just what it contains, it's how easily your body can absorb those minerals. Unlike spinach or other dark greens, kale is low in oxalates, compounds that can block calcium absorption. So when you eat kale, your body actually receives the benefits. That's especially important for people who are already dealing with issues like leg cramps, bone loss, or irregular heartbeats at night. This isn't theory, it's basic biology working in your favor. So how do you bring kale into your routine without making it feel like a chore? The answer is simplicity. For something warm, try a quick sauté with garlic and olive oil. Just 5 minutes in a pan brings out its flavor and softens the leaves. Add a pinch of sea salt and it's ready. If you prefer a more comforting meal, simmer kale into a light soup, maybe with chicken, carrots, and mushrooms. It's gentle on digestion, warming in the evening and full of sleep-supporting minerals. For something refreshing, toss chopped kale with red apples, walnuts, and a drizzle of apple cider vinaigrette. The fruit softens the texture and adds just enough sweetness to balance the greens. Whatever form you choose, the key is timing. You want to eat kale no later than 6 p.m. That gives your digestive system time to process the fiber and absorb the minerals before bedtime. You're not trying to knock yourself out, you're trying to give your body what it needs to relax slowly, steadily, and naturally. There's a quiet strength in that. Kale isn't flashy, it won't change your sleep in one night, but when used regularly, it helps create the inner conditions for real rest. It cushions the nervous system, it supports your heartbeat, it gives your muscles permission to let go. and it reminds your whole body you are safe, you are steady, you can rest. It's also worth noting that the calming effects of kale go beyond just sleep. Many people report feeling more emotionally balanced when they include magnesium-rich foods in their diet. That's no coincidence. Magnesium plays a role in regulating mood, managing cortisol, and reducing low-level anxiety. So if you've been feeling more irritable lately or more easily overwhelmed, something as basic as a bowl of kale in the evening might help more than you think. And if you're worried about taste or texture or digestion, start small. A few cooked leaves in your soup, a small salad with soft toppings. Over time, your body will recognize the nourishment, and you may find that your sleep becomes just a little easier, your nights a little quieter, your mornings a little clearer. This isn't about chasing perfection, it's about returning to balance. A kind of balance that doesn't come from pills or apps or complicated routines, but from food, real food your body understands, food that does its job silently. So the next time you're staring at the ceiling at midnight, wondering why your body just won't calm down, think about what you gave it earlier that evening. Did you support your nerves? Did you fuel your rest? Maybe tonight it starts with kale. Part 3. Asparagus helps reset your body clock. Have you ever noticed how your body seems to have forgotten when it's supposed to sleep? You go to bed at a reasonable hour, but you lie there awake. Then just as you finally drift off, it's 2:30 a.m. and your eyes pop open again. And in the morning, you feel foggy, drained, and somehow already behind. You didn't stay up late, you didn't eat sugar, you did everything right. But your sleep still feels broken. This isn't about habits, this is about rhythm. And if you're over 60, there's a good chance your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, is out of sync. The circadian rhythm is your body's natural schedule. It tells your brain when to release melatonin, when to wake up, when to rest, when to digest. It works quietly in the background as long as it's supported. But with age, this rhythm often becomes less reliable. Hormone production slows down, light sensitivity changes, and small things like irregular meals or waking up to use the bathroom can knock the system off track. So what does asparagus have to do with any of this? A lot, actually. Asparagus contains a specific amino acid called tryptophan. It's something your body doesn't make on its own, which means you can only get it through food. Tryptophan is essential for producing serotonin, the brain chemical that stabilizes mood, supports calm focus, and most importantly, gets converted into melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. If your body doesn't get enough tryptophan, it struggles to make serotonin. And if serotonin is low, melatonin stays low. That's how the entire sleep-wake cycle can slowly begin to unravel even when your routine hasn't changed. The result? You feel sleepy at the wrong times and wide awake when you're supposed to be winding down. You may also notice more mood swings, more restlessness, and more mornings that feel like you're still recovering from the night before. The good news is, this is not irreversible, and the fix doesn't have to come in the form of a pill or a prescription. It can begin with something as ordinary and as powerful as a plate of asparagus. In a 2022 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, older adults who ate tryptophan-rich foods 3 to 5 times a week experienced measurable improvements in their serotonin levels after just 4 weeks. They fell asleep faster, they stayed asleep longer, and they woke up with more mental clarity and emotional balance. That's not a theory, that's measurable biology. But asparagus offers more than just tryptophan. It also has a mild diuretic effect, which means it helps your body gently release extra fluid earlier in the day. Why does this matter? Because one of the most common sleep disruptors after 60 is nighttime bathroom trips. You may not feel like you're drinking too much water in the evening, but if your kidneys are slower or your bladder is more sensitive, even a small shift in timing can make a difference. Eating asparagus in the afternoon encourages your body to finish most of that filtration process before bed, so you're less likely to wake up at 3 a.m. with the urge to get up. This is about creating a window, a gentle, consistent routine where your body can reset itself, where hormones, digestion, and nervous system activity all fall into a quieter rhythm. And the best time to eat asparagus for this effect is mid to late afternoon, ideally before 5:30 p.m. That gives your body enough time to absorb the tryptophan, convert it into serotonin, and then naturally begin producing melatonin as the evening sets in. Now let's talk about preparation. You don't need to make it complicated. The simplest way is to steam the asparagus until it's tender, then drizzle it with a little olive oil and maybe a sprinkle of sesame seeds or sea salt. If you want something more filling, try roasting it alongside salmon or a soft-boiled egg with a bit of mashed potato. The combination of protein and tryptophan works beautifully to support sleep hormones and ease digestion. If you're in the mood for something quick, lightly sauté asparagus with garlic and olive oil. It's ready in minutes and feels like comfort food without the heaviness. There's also something emotional that happens when we prepare food like this. It's not just about sleep. It's about giving yourself permission to slow down in the late afternoon, to step away from the noise, from the rush, from the sense that the day is always too short. When you make a plate of asparagus with intention, you're not just feeding your body, you're telling your nervous system, we're done now, we're safe, it's okay to settle. And that message, repeated night after night, becomes more powerful than any supplement. It's a rhythm your body can remember. What's beautiful about asparagus is that it doesn't demand perfection. You don't have to eat it every day. You don't need a new diet or routine. Just include it a few times a week, especially on the days when your sleep has felt most fragile. Combine it with a calming meal, reduce fluids after dinner, turn down the lights a little earlier, and give your body the cues it's been missing. You may not notice the difference on night one, but if you stay with it, with the routine, with the calm meal, with the gentle rhythm, you may find that your body clock begins to shift, that you get sleepy when the sky darkens, not when the sun rises, that your bathroom trips happen before bed, not during the night, that your thoughts don't race, that your breath stays steady, that sleep comes not like a crash but like a quiet friend who knows when to arrive. Sometimes what your body needs most isn't more force, it's better timing. And that begins with a vegetable you've seen 100 times and maybe never looked at this way before. So tonight, maybe you don't chase sleep. Maybe you invite it, gently, intentionally, with something green, something real, something your body already knows how to use. Maybe tonight you begin again with asparagus. Part 4 Romaine lettuce helps you gently fall asleep. There's something uniquely frustrating about lying in bed, feeling exhausted, but not being able to cross over into sleep. You've brushed your teeth, turned off the lights, done all the right things. Your body is still, your room is quiet, and yet sleep doesn't come. You're not wide awake, but you're not drifting either. You're stuck in between, aware of the time, aware of your heartbeat, aware of how long you've been waiting. And the more you wait, the harder it becomes. This moment, familiar to so many people over 60, often has nothing to do with stress or stimulation. It's not always about what's going on in your mind. Sometimes it's about the missing signal, the one that tells your nervous system it's finally safe to let go. That signal doesn't always come from melatonin or meditation. In some cases, it comes from something far simpler, something your body recognizes immediately. Something like romaine lettuce. This might surprise you. Romaine is one of the most common vegetables in any grocery store. It's in salads, wraps, sandwich shops. It's often overlooked, seen as filler. But romaine has a unique compound that sets it apart from other leafy greens, lactucarium. When you break a leaf from the base, you may notice a white, milky substance. That's lactucarium. And while it's not widely known, it's incredibly powerful. Research shows that lactucarium interacts with the brain's GABA receptors, the same receptors responsible for calming the nervous system and preparing it for sleep. Unlike sedatives, lactucarium doesn't knock you out. Instead, it gently increases your brain's ability to enter a relaxed, sleep-ready state. In a 2017 study published in Food Science and Biotechnology, researchers found that romaine lettuce extract increased sleep duration and reduced interruptions in lab tests. The findings were consistent with anecdotal reports from older adults who added romaine to their evening meals and noticed within days they were falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer without pills, without side effects. The science is still catching up to what many people have already experienced for themselves. Romaine doesn't force sleep, it invites it. What makes romaine especially powerful is how quietly it works. While other vegetables in this series support blood flow, hormone production, or muscle relaxation, romaine speaks directly to the nervous system. It tells your body, we're done now. And for many older adults whose sleep issues come not from anxiety but from over-alert nerves that never fully shut down, that message can make all the difference. So how do you actually use romaine in a way that supports this effect? The most effective method is also the simplest. A raw salad in the late afternoon or early evening, no later than 6 p.m. This gives your body time to absorb the lactucarium and respond to its effects before bedtime. A basic combination of chopped romaine, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and ground flax seeds is a great place to start. Add a few slices of apple or pear for sweetness, or a handful of raisins if you prefer a soft texture. You don't need to eat a large portion, just enough to make it a real part of your evening ritual. Avoid using iceberg lettuce as a substitute. While it may look similar, it contains almost none of the same beneficial compounds. Butter lettuce, while soft, also lacks the lactucarium content that makes romaine effective. Think of romaine not as a random salad base, but as a sleep-supporting ingredient, something that works with your body, not against it. And again, this isn't about making dramatic changes to your diet or routine. It's about creating a consistent signal. When you eat romaine at the same time each evening, your body begins to associate it with winding down. The nutrients begin to sync with your circadian rhythm. The nervous system begins to slow. The feedback loop strengthens. Calm body, calm mind, easier sleep. This is especially powerful for people who are tired of trying everything else. You've done the teas, you've cut the caffeine, you've stayed off screens, and yet the nights still stretch on. Sometimes what your body needs isn't another strategy, it needs support. Gentle, honest support from food it understands. One of the most beautiful stories comes from a woman named Elena, age 74, who had struggled with sleep for nearly 15 years. She had tried medications, acupuncture, herbal supplements, nothing worked. On her daughter's suggestion, she began eating a small romaine salad every day around 5:30 p.m. And by the fourth night, she was sleeping 6 hours straight. By the second week, she was waking up rested for the first time in over a decade. No magic, just consistency. Just a simple signal her nervous system had been waiting for. This kind of story isn't rare, it's just rarely talked about. Because we've been trained to think sleep must be fixed from the outside, with prescriptions, devices, or apps, but the body often knows what it needs. The trick is learning to listen again. If your sleep has felt fragile lately, if your nights feel long and disconnected, and your mornings feel heavy, maybe it's not about doing more. Maybe it's about doing less, but doing it more intentionally. A quiet salad, a steady routine, a return to food that soothes instead of stimulates. Romaine lettuce won't change your life in one bite, but over time it can change the rhythm of your nights. And that rhythm, once it returns, can change everything. So tonight, instead of waiting for sleep to come, try preparing for it. Not with effort, but with ease. Let the food you eat remind your body how to rest. And let a bowl of something green, simple, calming, familiar, be the invitation your nervous system has been waiting for. Final, if you've made it this far, thank you, truly, because it means you're not giving up on your sleep and you're willing to look deeper than quick fixes and noisy advice. Over the past few minutes, we haven't just talked about vegetables. We've talked about how the body changes with age, how sleep becomes more fragile, how the systems that once ran effortlessly, blood flow, hormones, nervous signals, begin to need more gentle support, and how, sometimes, the most meaningful changes don't come from doing more, but from doing something simple at the right time. Beets support the brain with steady oxygen. Kale feeds the nervous system with minerals it's quietly been missing. Asparagus helps reset your body's inner clock with nutrients that spark serotonin and melatonin. And romaine lettuce sends a message of safety to your entire system, letting you gently fall asleep without resistance. None of these are miracle cures. They don't replace your doctor or your routine, but they offer your body something real, something it can use, something it can trust. Because sleep is not a performance, it's not something you win. It's something your body remembers how to do when you stop pushing and start supporting it again. So if you've been waking up tired, lying awake at night, or just feeling like sleep isn't what it used to be, please know you're not alone, and you're not broken. You may just be missing something small, and you now have 4 quiet ways to start filling that gap. Thank you for watching. I hope tonight is a little more peaceful than last night, and if it isn't, that's okay too. Healing doesn't always come all at once, but sometimes it starts with a plate of vegetables. Wishing you deep rest, steady breath, and comfort in your own rhythm again.